Yalimadat everyone. Welcome to tonight's program. My name is Shinan Madani and I'm from Mwanza, Tanzania. I am part of the Aga Khan Education Board, Tanzania, and I will be your host this evening. Tonight, I speak to two sets of parents and we will discuss how active parenting can lead to better child development. For your reference, it is estimated that 50% of a child's development and growth is directly related to active parenting. 30% relates to what they learn in school from their school teachers, and 20% is due to the child's own efforts. So I really hope that all parents get to learn something from these interviews. To start, I sit down with Amin and Humaira Javeri, who are originally from Pakistan but now live here in Mwanza, Tanzania. So sit back, get your chai ready, and enjoy.
I'm here today with a lovely set of parents, Amin uncle and Humaira auntie. They are here from Pakistan and have lived in Tanzania for over 14 years together. So thank you both very much for taking the time to be here with me. So 17 years in Tanzania and 14 years for you, auntie. How has it been? It's been a long time.
It was great actually. We are here for many years and we are enjoying the life in Mwanza and now quite settled. Kids are also born in Pakistan but they brought up here and they are quite happy. They are enjoying the life in Mwanza.
So Arisa is 10 years old.
Yes.
And Alina is 8 years old.
Yes.
And they go to Isamilo International School in Mwanza here. And they're doing superb. So they're doing very, very well. Shukramula. So what sort of language, how do you speak to them?
Sometimes what do we do that we give examples of other people and our examples even they see like we have studied this much, that's why we are up to this level. So that's how they are like encouraging themselves, they are optimistic to the future even that we have to concentrate on the studies. So that is why they are helping themselves even that we have to be at that level where our parents are today. So
you guys have set you've set a good standard for them to realize that this is what I want to also be like. So your behavior at home, the way you speak to each other, maybe you guys are conscious of the fact that how you behave with each other will be reflected on your kids. Is that something that...
Actually, we create a morality inside the house that they should follow the standards. We have certain standards which they have to follow, the educational standards and other standards. So when it comes to them, they are also aware that this is the best which they should perform in their schools, as well as the religious aspects. But mostly they know that what is their aim and how far they have to struggle. And from our side, we are always there to support them. And that's the way we are working with them. We give them goals to achieve, and then when they achieve, we appreciate them. We also propel them, they have achieved this, it is good, but try more, better. Don't just feel that this is suitable, this is enough. Now we don't need to go for more. We also push them, no, this is done, it's good, but you can do more better. So on that aspect, we are working with them. And that's how we are pushing them, so you should do like this, you should perform more better. And we create good example, we try to create good example. By putting ourselves in front, we are also giving them the examples of other achievers in the world, in Tanzania, in Pakistan. And these people, they have tried their best, that's why they are now at this level. So you should also try your best, so you can make something up in your life, you can do something better in your life.
Yeah, so you're both actively involved in their studies,
We
homework.
13 times we allocate time.
Yeah.
Morning she is giving time, she is busy with that, she is pushing them for the studies and everything, she is actually. In the evening time when I come back from the office, I take some friends and I start giving my time and opinion to them for the studies and all this stuff. We discuss their school hours, school studies, what they do in the school and how they are performing. We keep eye on their studies, their performance. occasionally we go to meet the teachers in the school and we ask them how they are doing. And not only that, but we are also out of the school we have certain activities for which we are pushing them that you should do this. Because nowadays everything is on net, so we see the educational activities, the work which is coming and the competitions which are happening. So whatever we think is suitable for them, because you have the facility, so why you should not use it? In our time there was no internet, there was no facility like that. We used to rush to the library, we used to study there, we used to meet people to discuss, but now everything is available on net. So what we are trying our best that we give them idea to make best and better use of the net. Not like that they should sit and just waste their time in games and all the other stuff. But we also observing them when they do use internet, we tell them to sit on the table, don't sit on the bedroom, so we can see what they are doing and how they are doing. So from our side, we are not just setting the target or just pushing them, but we are also keeping eyes on them that how they are performing and are they going to the expected level or they are just deviating or what they are doing. So we try our best.
I think you touched upon something that I think a lot of parents today are struggling with, and that's social media, the internet. I was going to ask about that actually, and I wanted to get your opinion on social media. But you've already given me an insight that you do let them use the internet for work, for research. Is there any disadvantages or any time limits that you ensure that they stick to when they're on the internet?
We give them time, really, because we just, as he said, that we just keep an eye on them even. So we see that they are only working on the educational websites, not here and there. So for suppose if they want to learn, of course they go to YouTube also and everywhere. But then we try, like if I'm at home, so I try to see them and sit with them at actually what they are doing. That it's not like that they are just surfing, they are going on any website or anywhere where it's not allowed even. So only educational websites, if YouTube even they are using, they are going on those things which helps them in learning, helps them in growing.
So mainly YouTube for learning.
Yeah.
They serve by themselves even actually, but we just direct them, not so much closely we are looking at what they are doing actually, but they know the norms of the house and the standards which we are having. Sometimes we really become bad on them and why they are going so much on social sites. But Facebook and Twitter, they never go. I have seen that they are playing games many times. I have seen that they online games, they start certain time when they just get tired of work, doing school studies and all this, and we give them targets on that, and they work and then they say, Papa, we are so tired, let us enjoy it. Papa, we want to see this online animated movie and this and that. So we don't say then no, but okay, we say, okay, you achieve this thing, we can see you perform, your work is good, I really like it. Okay, you enjoy it, but just time, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Then let's leave something for tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. So you can plan tomorrow something. And this is the target, achievement is there. This is the reward. You want 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, you want to go out to your friend's house, you want to do this and that. We appreciate, we never say no. But if you want this, you should do this. So
yeah, I think the message that is clear is that first comes discipline. If they're doing well, then obviously it's reward as well. So the reward is the animated shows, the TV, and depends on how well maybe they do. You give them more time, you take them out. So it's not completely rigid and work. There's rewards at the end of the day. Yeah.
So that's what we were saying, that friendship is also very important in the case to understand the problems. Sometimes they are tired, they don't want to study, they want to relax. So we give them time. We said, okay, you just relax and set the target for tomorrow or day after. But they are not always on the targets. We give them time, we understand if they're doing good, we don't pressurize them for more studies. At the end, we don't want Thomas Edison or Tesla, Nikola Tesla at home. We are just pushing from our side, okay, you are doing good. If you can try your best, it will be achieved. we will appreciate, we will be happy, and this will be better for you.
I think what you said there about not just focusing on education in terms of school, but also spending family time together, going out to the movies, you said, just being together as a family. What other sorts of values are you trying to instill in your kids?
We are even teaching them that, for suppose you have to concentrate on the religious things, even that what our religion says. Like if they are saying dua, they should know that why they are saying dua. If they are going, if anything is happening, like for suppose sometimes their kids lies, they do bad things, they do wrong things. So apart from that, we are even giving them the examples that you don't have to be so much mingle in those kind of things where you see that your friend or any of your colleague is not doing good. So, like, they are that much independent even that I know that they are sharing so many things with me as a mother. So I even teach them that if they are lying even, they don't have to do that. And if they have done some mistakes even sometimes, then they come and share. They know that of course what will be the consequences. I will even tell them that why did you do that. So they are not hiding anything from us. So we are teaching them where they have to say truth. Before going to the bedtime, they have to do their prayers even. In evening prayers, they have to be in Khane on time. If they are not doing Khane at home, at least they are reciting prayers on time. They have to say Dinan. So like so many things we are even when we are sitting on the table even like at dining time we all are together. So of course Amin is even sharing the stories and everything. So that is why they are learning even from those that okay that how to go on the right path. So these all are the values we are giving them like not to say lie. You have to respect the elders whatever someone is doing. But you have to respect.
And the best thing is that we have Malas farmers. Farmers are there who are there to guide us, to guide the students how to achieve their livelihoods, how to take higher and better aims in their life. For their education and professional aspects, we are even following, and they are also propelling, we are also pushing our kids that they should also read the farmers carefully, they should try to follow those farmers. Because that is the best guidance which we have at this moment. Also, we are trying to teach them to respect others, to respect the elders, to respect their teachers. Whatever their teachers are telling, they should listen to it carefully, they should try to understand and obey. At the same time, elders and other poor, if they find any poor, they are always available, they are trying their best to help them. So they see us also doing the same thing, they admire us, they also think that this is the right thing because whenever they do something good, you do something good, we do something good, we also feel happy. So that's the same thing we observe in them also. They feel proud, they feel happy, they do something good. That is how basically the family works, to support each other. And from our side, we are always available to support them.
I think that is so well said. I think in today's day and age with the children, it's so competitive. Even at 10 and 8 years old in school, so much time is taken in studies. Then after studies, you have tuitions, and you have sport, and then you've got Khane, you've got Tarika lessons. A lot of time in their life is already taken up. But you're still able to find more time to focus on the religious aspect and make them realize the importance of religion, of being grateful, of giving to the poor, not just focusing on school education, because at the end of the day, you want them to be good people, and teaching them from now will help them maybe later on. So I think that's superb. That being said, I've heard Arisa in Khane giving awareness, and I remember it was about the importance of coming to Jamaat Khana and not just sitting outside, come to Jamaat Khana. And I was so impressed. I think she must have been like 9 years old. It must have been a year ago. She must have been 9. And I was like, wow. So do you encourage like extracurricular activities?
Yeah, we do encourage them. That is why they can go front and they can speak even. So ourselves even like we ask them what you have done, okay, come stand here and then say. So that's how they are when they are performing everything in the home even, so they are well confident that they can do everything outside. They are in school, in Tarika, anytime if there are any activities, co-curricular activities, we are supporting them. Okay, no, you have to go, you have to take part. Sometimes they are kids, of course, they get tired, they are reluctant. But then we say, no, it's not like that, that if you win or lose, but no, you have to take part in these kind of activities because these are even important. Not right now, but later on, it is going to help them.
So that's the main motivation we are trying to give to our kids. Okay, you achieve or you try to make best out of the extracurricular activities, but in a way, in a manner that you are not following anyone for the sake of following, but you are trying to learn something. That is main intention of ours, that you should learn something. Not just your teacher has come and said, today you have to do this thing, but sir, I'm doing fine. Or teacher, I'm trying to do this thing. Okay, I will do. But what is the main learning for me? That's the main thing. Are you going to learn something? Are you helping the Jamaat? Are you helping your own self? It's a self-grooming thing. Please go for it. Don't waste time for asking us even. Say yes and try to achieve.
I think that's amazing because, I mean, we know they're doing well in school, um, but still outside of school, you're encouraging them to learn, try. That message was repeated. The other question that was just running through my head is, you know, kids are kids. They're not perfect. Mistakes will be made. Sometimes they'll do stuff that you may not approve or you may not like. What do you do then? Is it like go face the wall and stare at the wall for 5 minutes, or is it a more discussion or lock them in the room? Like, what is your technique when they do stuff that you guys don't really like approve?
Yeah, we sometimes ground them, especially they are kids. They are more interested towards the media, okay? So they like to watch TV. So like you will say no, for a day or for a week, there's no TV for you. There's no computer. So then that's how they are learning. Okay, now if I will do the same mistake, then they are going to ground us. So they limit themselves. They don't do those kind of acts, but still sometimes they do. Sometimes we forgive them. Because every time you cannot punish them even. Because they won't learn anything if you'll punish and they will get used to do it. Okay, like every time my parents are punishing. So sometimes we even feel no. Okay, today it's okay, but tomorrow or next time you don't have to repeat. So they understand this.
Like to ask, what's your advice to other parents on how to go about their lives with their kids?
That first, that you give them time, as much as time they want, because right now this is the foundation, they are growing up. Right now you will lead them, tomorrow they will lead you. So today you give them time, give them priority, listen them carefully, what are their problems, because that is very important. Another thing is that I would say that never compare your child with another child, because when you compare, then they are feeling inferiority. There might be other kids are more important or more like they have more priorities. So never compare, because all the children are different. If two brother sisters are there, even the family they are even different. And another thing, you teach them the morality, like what is good and what is bad, and set so many examples for them, so they would just grab those good things from you. Teach them, like through the Mullah's Farman even. Let's see, Mullah is saying that whatever I am doing, don't look at that. Whatever I am saying, do that. So go to that and then listen to the Farmans, listen to those things, and set the targets. Okay, this is a good thing I have to achieve, and I don't have to do or anything bad, or not have to go to the bad wrong path.
I think she's right. Basically, it's the time which you are giving to your kid is an investment. As mostly as business people or entrepreneur, we always feel that we have to invest something to get a good return. But we always forget our family, our kids. The best investment in the kids is the time which you give them. And our priority is always that we should give time to our kids. activities. Either they are learning or they're enjoying or whatever they're doing, but we take out time, we sit with them. We also learn with them. It's not like that we're the wrong people, we know everything in the world. No. Sometimes they come up with many things which we never learned, which we were never aware of that. And we learn, we sit with them, we learn with them. Secondly, as Umar said, we are always trying to refrain that we don't compare our kids with other kids. Though that kid must have done a lot of things, a lot of achievement, but no, we are not doing that. We don't feel our kids to feel inferior, maybe hated against that kid. That, oh, that kid is up to that level and I'm not up to, I should feel hated. No, we don't do like that. We always say, you are whatever you are doing good. Try to improvise, try to achieve more better. You can do, you have the abilities, you can do. But we never try to compare, we never do that. And that is the same thing I will always request to other parents, don't compare your kids. Please never compare your kids. When you start comparing your kids, you make them belittle in front of other kids. Even if they don't feel belittle, they start hating the other kid. Oh, I'm not good, oh, that kid is, but why? Why is it? Because every kid is having this or her own intellectual, own abilities, own understanding of the values and problem and our own way to solve the issues. They cannot be, if a person is called Amin cannot be like Shinan, or Shinan cannot be Amin. They both are different persons, they both have different personality. So let it be the same. We should agree that they should be the different person and they should act in a different manner. So that is our humble advice to the parents. Invest your time, teach them good morality. They should know the difference between good and bad, so they can choose wisely. So this is our very humble advice to all the parents.
Thank you both. That was amazing. From me, I wish you all the best. I mean, kids are doing superb, so long may that continue. And thank you both for this time. Thank you very much. Hello again. I think the message was clear from Amin Uncle and Humaira Auntie. Invest time in your kids. Don't compare your children to other children. And most importantly, teach your children good morals, good ethics, and good values. Now, I sit down with a slightly younger set of parents, Nahid and Shazia Alibai. It might be time for you to get those chais warmed up again. Enjoy.
Nahid, Shazia, thank you for making the time to be here today. You have two kids, Samara, who is 11, and Nikhil is 10. So thank you for being here. They go to Lake English Medium, and they're doing super there. In terms of IXL awards, they're always getting national awards, so they make Mwanza proud. So what's the secret? What is your parenting style?
So basically, in terms of school, we are sometimes strict because the NECTA exams basically are very hard. At the same time, they have very little time because of COVID. They had 3 months, because of pandemic year, so they're just at home, but still they are going for tuitions. Basically, what we do with our kids is when it's time for exams, is when we sit with them and make them understand the importance of education as well, and try to make them be happy all the time and not to have that stress that we have to do it, no, but they have to balance their life as well. And in terms of IXL, they know it, they have to do it, though they are very tired, but they do it. So we give them that support, sit with them. Basically, if they have to do 1 hour, so sometimes you can tell them, okay, I'll give you a chocolate, or you want that watch, so I'll give you that watch, but do for me 2 hours.
Yeah.
So this is how they come up, you see. It's the same as in education, in school-wise, it's the same. Maybe they'll tell me, Mom or Papa, I want this, or maybe I want a car, or I want a watch, or I want a bag. So we are like, okay, you get it. Or bring me an A, give me an A plus from your exam, you will get it. So this is how we motivate our kids. And basically, sitting with our kids and giving them attention also is another another tactic of ours, sitting with our kids. So when you give them attention, then they know that the parents are always there for them, even if they have a problem, even if they fail. It's not that our kids don't fail. They do sometimes come down in their grades.
So I think the message I'm getting here is you're the kind of parents that are always, like not always, when there's time to be strict, you'll be strict, but the majority of the time you're a friend to them rather than a parent who's always putting pressure or discipline. You're with them in terms of friendship rather than like a parent. Which now is very different to the way you and I grew up. Times have changed, and it to me feels like you've accepted that it's better to be friendlier with the kid. How do you give them the time that they need to grow?
Okay, for us basically what we do is they come from school, they go straight to tuition. They come back at around 6 o'clock in the evening. So okay, now then we just give them, okay, you want to go Kane? Yeah, I want to go Kane. No, I don't want to go Kane, I'm tired. You don't want? Okay, what you want to do? You want to play? Play. So they play. After some time, they start doing the lesson. If they have homework or tuition lesson, they just do it. And then after Kane, we usually go, like we go for a round. Okay, what do you want to eat? I want to eat ice cream. Okay, let's go. So we treat them the way they want, but not beyond the line. We go with them, say, okay, we want to do this, do.
I think that's super because I think it's showing them that you trust them.
Yeah.
They might be young for us, but they feel like they can make decisions. If they want to come Kane, you're saying, okay, come to Kane. If you don't want to come Kane, that's okay. You either do some work, or if you watch TV, that's okay. So they feel like they can make decisions themselves.
Yes, it's because all the day they are all busy, you see, and you can't just keep giving them pressure. The minds also get exhausted.
Yeah.
So they have to balance, right? They have to play, they have to be with their friends, they have to study. So everything is supposed to be balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you have to build a kid. Okay, we as parents are responsible to make them to get the education. They should reach a certain stage of life. But the other part, they have to go on. They should not have that psychology that if I study, I don't study. The properties are there, the money is there. No, that psychology. The education has to help the kid to come and to tackle all the problems that they are going to face.
And in terms of other values that you want to instill in your kids, because at the end of the day, they will look to the both of you as role models, right? You will be their biggest role model. So what other values, whether it be discipline, respect for elders, Jamaat Khana, what other values are you trying to instill in your kids?
Okay, the first thing I would say is respect, as the way you said, discipline, and having faith. Okay, because us as Ismailis, we believe faith is everything. When you have faith, that is when you can build your life. But if you don't have faith, you are nothing. Well, it's not that if you come to Jamaat Khana daily or if you pray your prayers every day, that is what makes you an Ismaili or that makes you a good person. No. But your faith, your discipline, your good deeds, and your good heart, that is what makes you a person. It's the same as a person, or maybe you can say, let's say Samara is educated to a degree and her behavior is nonsense, that you don't understand what's her behavior, then that is not education. But education, when a kid has it, that comes in his or her discipline. How does she act with people? How does she or he talk with people? This is how I understand.
And that in itself is education. Like it may not be school and you get an A grade for being, a disciplined person.
Yes.
But that in itself is you guys as parents
Yes.
teaching them. You touched upon the fact that they have to have faith as well.
Yes.
And I'm going to look at Naeem now, because Naeem comes across as someone, who is like a gangster, you walk like this, a big chain. But I remember when my grandmother was in hospital, and he said something that I think is always going to be with me, and he just said, you know what, you just go to Kane and you pray for her. And I looked at him and I was like, is this the same guy telling me this?
Yeah.
So despite the way basically you behave, you've got a lot of faith in Hazar Imam, and so I'm sure you are trying to bring that into your kids.
I remember like Nikhil when he was 7 years old,
6.
6 years old, he said he's namaz.
Oh wow.
So like when they are free, or whenever the school is closed, they usually come Khane every day. And it's not only that they say dua or anything. Before when we were up in Khane, he used to take nandis every day. Like he was helping me in a volunteer way. So like they like coming Khane. It's not like because of only the schedule of their it's tight, so they can't make it. But Samara, anytime you tell her Samara go say Gina, she'll go. Nikhil will do any duty, whatever you tell him. So I think so like whenever kids are free, if you bring them Khane, they know. Like coming Khane, we do dua, we say our dua, what is tasbih. Okay, they are still young, they don't know like after Khane we take out tasbih and say shukr or whatever. But as they are seeing people and as they are going, they know they are getting that knowledge. Like coming Khane is not only I came Khane, I said my dua, I'm out, I go play. It's time to play, you play. When it's time to play, you play. So I think so even bringing them Khane, meeting people, brings them something like a knowledge, like okay, I met this person, I said Yali Modas, I talk with him nicely. But if you come Khane, you finish your do everything, you just sit idle, not talking to people. So I don't think so like that you can bring that relation with others. Like staying idle, staying alone, that's not right. Kids them in the mix, they gain. They are not going to lose anything, but they'll gain. If I do this, this is the result. So they teach each other and they gain. But staying like, no man, I fought with him, he's not my friend, so you are a loser. Because when they play, they'll not call you. Like, come play with us because you fought with him. So, end of the day, you don't gain anything. In soccer, if you are playing, you are 6 people on the ground. So, if this guy is dribbling, you will see like how is he dribbling. This guy, he has speed. How did he gain a speed? So they tell, and do like this, we gain it. So they get to know each other nicely and they learn a lot from each other.
I think it's a super point because I guess a lot of people feel that you're only going to learn in school, you're only going to learn in Khane, you're only going to learn from your parents. But you guys are taking it that extra step further and saying that no, you guys will learn from each other. With your friends, you will learn from seeing other people do this, or you will learn from seeing someone else do something differently. So you're encouraging them to learn in more wider aspects, more wider ways. And is that something that?
Yes. Even kids, like when you support their interests, that is also when they grow. Perhaps a kid. Okay, I think that Samar and Nikhil are taking part in studies and they're doing well. But I cannot say they might reach a degree or PhD. I don't know what's in their destiny, right? But if you support their interest, let's say Nikhil likes football, but you support it in the other way, that okay, you like football, you are tired to study, do football. Because you never know, maybe in football, his life is there. Okay, his destiny is there in football. Even if he'll study to PhD to masters, but he's already in football. Same applies to Samara. Let's say she likes singing a lot, dancing a lot, but she is doing in studies well as well. But supporting the interest also makes difference to kids. It's not that pushing them all the time, just study, no. Pushing kids in only studies, they might study and they might not even do it. Because you might see them sitting with the book, but does it get into their brains? Do they understand what are they doing? But when you support their interest, also that makes a difference. They're like, okay, mom is telling me or papa is telling me to study, I'll do it. But mom, can I relax? I want to do this. When you support also their interest, also that makes a difference in their life.
I think I was going to ask about whether you support them in extracurricular activities, but I think the answer is already there, that it's a big yes from you guys.
But the main moral is always respect and discipline. Okay, don't fight, don't answer anybody, but whatever, you make them understand this is not right, this is supposed to be done, or I didn't like this. But basically, respect and discipline are the most morals for Samar and Aga. But when they don't do well, particularly in an exam, so they come and tell me, Mom, today the exam was very hard, and I'm not really sure if I'm going to pass. So I tell them it's fine, it happens, but you have to put and you have to understand that the same questions but come in different way. So that is how they grow. See?
So it looks like the foundation is there because the results don't lie.
Yes, it's true.
The medals that they get in Khan don't lie.
Yes.
So the foundation is there. Now they're going to go into what is probably more difficult years, teenage years.
Teenage years.
And then it's going to go to adulthood.
Yes.
Are you going to try to put more of an emphasis on your kids, or are you going to now play it by ear and continue the way it is going?
At present, we are going, inshallah, but we want to continue the same way. And okay, even our kids understand the stage they're going, because at present in science they're studying everything. So they basically tell me, okay, Mom, I'm going in this stage or this stage. They are going in very hard and very difficult stage, and they do know it, and they know even the changes that are going to happen in their life. But until now, shukr, they're still stuck with us with the same morals and principles we are giving them. So let's hope it becomes the same. But in another ways, like giving them that much freedom at present, I don't think so if we are going to do it. Because what we want to do, as long they are intelligent and they are capable of having the education and they want to get it, so we'll try our best that they should get the education until when they tell us, Mom and Dad, now we are tired, let us stop here. But basically the same principles are going to be there till the end. So every day, whatever happens, be good, be bad, but install that discipline to a kid, okay, she or he has to say the truth, whatever be. Either he is in fault or not in fault. Because when you don't install that discipline of respect and the discipline of saying the truth, then you are done with it. Even if he studies hard or whatever, but once they don't have the truthness, then your kid is nothing. That is how I do it. Even if they fail, even if they pass, or they go astray, but they say, Mom, I did this because somebody told me, that makes a little difference, But when they lie and you come to know from anybody else, it makes a discouragement, and as well it brings too much misunderstandings as well.
I think it's good because it's clear that your priority with your kids is A, for them to be good people.
Yes.
They need to have the respect that you talk about, they need to have the discipline that you talk about, integrity, don't lie. And then you are emphasizing the importance of education. So that comes secondary. But primary is be good.
Yes.
Secondary is now focus on education so you guys can get to a stage in life where potentially,
Yes.
they're happy and they're self-sufficient and they can do what they want.
Okay, I would like to advise also other parents to teach their kids also, because these times which we are going in this phase, it's very difficult. So to teach their kids to make saving, how to make the saving. Basically, I think most of the kids at their homes, they have piggy bank. So do my kids to have it. And also having a bank account. Basically, when you teach your kids from young age that they need to save, this is when you are building their future. Because this is, for example, let's say Samara or Nikhil gets 10,000 shilling, let's say in Eid, right? They got 10,000 shilling and it's like, you need to spend this? No, you don't need, you save it. This is how their principle is. But when you get money and you lose all the money, basically I want a pencil or I want this and that, and you lose all that money, and end of the day you don't know where did the money go, and you find like, what did I buy? I don't need these things. So when you save 10,000 per month, it makes a difference. This is when you teach your kids how to save money, not to use money unnecessarily and not to make unnecessary expenses. Even same applies to Samara and Nikki. When they get the piggy bank, the first preference is to save money. Because everything they get from the stationeries, their clothes, whatever they want to eat, wherever they want to go. But basically I emphasize in savings. Even Malawapa is saying in his programs, the times which are going to be very difficult. So to spend money unnecessarily, I don't think so it's worth it. But when they save their money and their own money, that is when you can find it's helping them somewhere, even if they're stuck, they know, okay, I have this money, I have to add in my education, or I have to add in my master's. This is when they learn. But basically, most of the parents, I find that they're like, just use it, it's today, we don't know about tomorrow, just use it, might cost you a lifetime. Because the 10,000 you got it today, you might find you don't get it for the next 3 to 4 months, and you don't get that 10,000. But when you spend, that when you need to spend, that makes a difference as well.
I think that's super. I mean, you are bringing in at a very young age
Yes.
the importance of value for money.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people out there that will throw around this phrase that money doesn't matter.
Yes.
But you are active parents and you realize that, well, yes, money matters. It might not be the solution to everything, but it can help with
Yes.
in education. It's a tool. It
Yes.
will help you with your education, maybe. It will help you. One day, if he has got enough, he can buy himself a car, toy,
Yes.
whatever.
Whatever you want.
But you're instilling from a very young age the
Yes.
importance of value for money.
Yes.
So to finish, I'd like to ask one more question, and that is maybe just one or two pieces of advice that you would like to share to other young parents. Like, what is your one or two main points that other parents should hear?
And I would suggest them like to be friendly with the kids, no harsh language, politely explain them nicely, and give them like more time spending with your kids than with the other.
And to add to that, I would say that always give attention to kids. When you give attention to kids, that makes a really big difference to them because they feel, yeah, our parents are there. And also to keep them open, that there is always transparency between parents and the kids, whether be a girl or a boy. But that transparency is also going to help them know that, okay, my kid, okay, though they're my parents, but they're my friends and they're there for me all the time. Because when you don't keep that transparency with them, it also affects them because they have a problem. Whom should they share with? So the transparency is also important for the kids.
Super. Thank you both so much. Thank you very much.
I really hope you found that to be an informative session and managed to learn something out of it. I'd like to thank Amin Uncle, Humaira Auntie, Nahid, and Shazia for not only giving their time, but for also sharing all their wonderful thoughts and ideas about their parenting style. This program was brought to you by the Aga Khan Education Board Tanzania. So from all of us, we wish you all the best. Take care. Good night.